Welcome to the Wellbeing Podcast, where every episode is a step toward a healthier, happier you.
Mhm.
Let's grow, thrive, and shine
Oh,
together.
absolutely.
We're always looking for ways to improve ourselves, right?
Right.
But who actually has tons of free time?
Yeah, it's tough.
That's where I think podcasts come in. It's like sneaking in a little self-improvement while you're doing everyday things.
It's true. We're all so busy, but we can still make time for learning and growth, even if it's just 20 minutes here and there. And the beauty of the podcast is they fit seamlessly into our lives. You can listen while you're commuting, cooking, exercising. The possibilities are endless.
So let's get specific. We're diving deep into how podcasts can be used for both skill building and boosting your well-being. And I have to admit, even I was surprised by some of the data we uncovered.
Oh, the stats are fascinating. For example, did you know that by 2026, there will be over 504 million podcast listeners globally? That's a massive audience, and it speaks to the power and appeal of this medium.
And it's not just passive listening either. A whopping 74% of listeners specifically use podcasts to learn new things. That's where the skill building aspect really shines.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is that podcasts often go beyond just surface level information. They delve into the why behind things, helping you understand not just what to do, but why it works.
It's like having a personal tutor in your ear, guiding you through complex topics and making them accessible. I remember when I first started listening to The Tim Ferriss Show, it completely changed my perspective on productivity and self-improvement. Hearing these incredibly successful people share their strategies and routines was like a light bulb moment for me.
That's a great example of how podcasts can expose us to new ideas and ways of thinking. It's like having a window into the minds of experts and thought leaders from all walks of life. And it's not limited to just business or self-help either. Podcasts cover a vast range of topics, from history and science to art and culture.
Let's break down some of the specific skill areas where podcasts excel, because I think this is where people can really start to see the practical benefits. Our sources highlight communication skills as a big one, and I think shows like This American Life are a perfect illustration of this. It's not just about the stories themselves, it's about how they're told. You're absorbing vocabulary, sentence structure, pacing all these subtle elements that contribute to effective communication.
What's fascinating about This American Life and other narrative-driven podcasts is that they often weave together personal stories with broader themes and insights. This can help us develop empathy, understand different perspectives, and connect with others on a deeper level. These are all essential skills for effective communication, both personally and professionally.
Then there's language learning. I mean, who hasn't dreamed of becoming fluent in another language? But traditional language classes can be time-consuming and expensive. Podcasts like Coffee Break Spanish offer a more accessible and engaging approach.
What's effective about these types of podcasts is that they often incorporate techniques like spaced repetition and contextual learning. So instead of just memorizing vocabulary lists, you're hearing words and phrases used in natural conversations. And because the episodes are usually short and focused, you can easily fit them into your daily routine, like during your commute or while you're walking the dog.
And it's not just about absorbing the language either. Many language learning podcasts also delve into the culture and history of the language, which can make the learning process even more enriching.
Right. It's about immersing yourself in the language and culture, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. And the research actually supports this approach. Studies have shown that listening to podcasts in a foreign language for just 20 minutes a day can boost comprehension by 25% in just 3 months. That's pretty impressive.
Now let's shift gears and talk about professional skills, because I know a lot of our listeners are looking for ways to advance their careers or stay ahead of the curve in their industries. Podcasts like HBR IdeaCast are absolute gold mines for this. It's like having a direct line to the minds of leading business thinkers and executives.
What's great about podcasts like HBR IdeaCast is that they don't just present abstract concepts. They break down complex ideas into actionable strategies and provide real-world examples. So you're not just learning about leadership or marketing in theory, you're hearing how these principles are applied in practice.
And it's not just about gaining knowledge either. It's about developing critical thinking skills, learning how to analyze information and apply it to your own unique situation. These are invaluable skills in any profession.
Absolutely. And podcasts like HBR IdeaCast also expose us to different perspectives and approaches to problem solving. This can help us think outside the box and develop more creative solutions.
And we can't forget about creative skills. Whether you're a writer, artist, musician, or just someone who wants to nurture their creative side, podcasts can be a wellspring of inspiration and motivation.
Podcasts like Creative Pep Talk are great examples of this. They offer a mix of practical advice, inspiring stories, and thought-provoking prompts that can help you overcome creative blocks, develop your craft, and find the courage to share your work with the world.
What I love about podcasts like Creative Pep Talk is that they tap into the emotional side of creativity. It's not just about technique, it's about mindset resilience and believing in yourself.
And what's interesting is that these podcasts often foster a sense of community among their listeners. You start to feel connected to other creative people who are going through similar challenges and triumphs. This can be incredibly supportive and motivating.
It's like having a virtual cheerleading squad in your pocket, encouraging you to pursue your passions and push your creative boundaries. So we've covered communication languages, professional skills, and creative skills. It's amazing to see how podcasts can touch on so many different areas of self-improvement.
And we're just scratching the surface here. There are literally podcasts out there for almost every interest and skill you can imagine. The key is to find the ones that resonate with you and fit into your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's where I think the real magic happens. When you find those podcasts that just click with you and you're like, wow, this is exactly what I needed.
It's like finding a new best friend.
It is. It really is.
Someone who understands you and supports you and challenges you to grow.
Exactly. And the best part is you can take them with you wherever you go.
It's true.
Okay, so we've talked about how podcasts can help us build skills, but what about the impact they have on our overall well-being?
Oh, that's a great question and something I'm really passionate about. Because podcasts aren't just about acquiring knowledge, they also have this incredible power to make us feel better.
Oh, that's a great question and something I'm really passionate about.
Mhm.
Because podcasts aren't just about acquiring knowledge, they also have this incredible power to make us feel better.
That's what I find so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about nurturing our mental and emotional health. It's like podcasts have this hidden superpower to make us feel better.
That's a great way to put it. And there's a growing body of research that supports this idea. For instance, a Harvard Business Review report found that 80% of podcast listeners feel more connected and less isolated thanks to podcasts.
That's huge.
Yeah.
In today's world where loneliness and social isolation are on the rise, it's so encouraging to see that podcasts can play a role in combating that.
It really highlights the power of shared experiences, even if those experiences are mediated through audio. Think about it. You're listening to someone share their thoughts, their stories, their vulnerabilities, and you start to feel this sense of connection even though you've never met them in person.
It's like you're eavesdropping on a conversation between friends and you get drawn into their world. And then when you connect with other listeners online, you realize you're not alone in your reactions and interpretations.
Exactly. It's like joining a virtual book club or support group where you can share your thoughts and feelings with people who get it. And this sense of belonging can be incredibly beneficial for our mental well-being.
Let's dive into some specific ways podcasts can boost our well-being, because I think there are so many different angles to explore here.
Absolutely. One area that immediately comes to mind is stress reduction. We live in a world that's constantly bombarding us with information and demand, so it's no wonder so many people are feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Thankfully, podcasts offer a wealth of resources for finding calm and peace amidst the chaos.
And there's a podcast for every type of stress relief, too. If guided meditation is your thing, apps like Calm and Headspace are phenomenal. They offer a variety of guided meditations, sleep stories, and nature sounds, all designed to soothe your mind and help you relax.
What's interesting about these apps is that they leverage the unique qualities of audio to create a truly immersive experience. The sound of a gentle voice guiding you through a meditation or the soothing sounds of nature can be incredibly effective at calming your nervous system and reducing stress.
It's like having a personal relaxation coach in your pocket, ready whenever you need them. And even beyond dedicated apps, there are tons of podcasts focused on mindfulness breathing exercises and other stress reduction techniques. Some even incorporate binaural beats or ASMR, which can induce a state of deep relaxation.
And the beauty of it is that you can easily incorporate these podcasts into your daily routine. Listen to a guided meditation on your commute to work, do some breathing exercises during your lunch break, or wind down with a sleep story before bed. It's all about finding what works for you and making it a habit.
And then there's the mood-boosting power of podcasts. Sometimes all you need is a good laugh to turn your day around. For me, that's my favorite murder. I know true crime isn't for everyone, but there's something so cathartic about listening to these stories with a humorous twist. It's like a shared experience of facing our fears and finding the absurdity in darkness.
That's a great point. Humor can be an incredibly powerful coping mechanism, and podcasts offer a unique way to experience it. Whether it's stand-up comedy improv or just friends chatting and making each other laugh, there's something so infectious about hearing other people laugh. It can instantly lift your spirits and shift your perspective.
It's like a reminder that even in the midst of challenges, there's still joy and laughter to be found. And it's not just comedy either. Listening to music podcasts, inspirational stories, or even just people geeking out about their passions can be incredibly uplifting.
Absolutely. It's about finding podcasts that spark joy and make you feel good. Whether it's learning something new, hearing a heartwarming story, or just feeling connected to other people who share your interests, podcasts can be a powerful source of positive emotions.
It's like having a little pocket of sunshine that you can carry with you wherever you go.
Exactly. And the best part is that there's something out there for everyone. No matter what your interests are or what kind of mood boost you're looking for, there's a podcast out there waiting to be discovered.
It's amazing, isn't it, how podcasts can have such a profound impact on our well-being?
It really is. And there's something out there for everyone. No matter what your interests are or what you're struggling with, there's a podcast that can offer support, guidance, or just a much-needed distraction.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored how podcasts can help us build skills, reduce stress, boost our mood, and even foster a sense of community.
It's really quite remarkable how much this one medium can offer. And what's exciting is that the world of podcasting is constantly evolving. New shows are popping up all the time, exploring new topics and experimenting with new formats. There's always something new to discover.
That's what I love about it. It's like this never-ending buffet of knowledge, inspiration, and entertainment. But with so much to choose from, it can be a little overwhelming to know where to start. So let's shift gears and talk about some practical tips for making the most of your podcast listening experience.
That's a great idea. Let's empower our listeners to become more intentional and strategic with their podcast choices. After all, it's not just about quantity, it's about quality and finding podcasts that truly resonate with you and your goals.
Exactly. So first things first, finding your niche. It's easy to stick with what you know and love, but branching out and exploring different genres can lead to some amazing discoveries. You might stumble upon a podcast that completely changes your perspective or sparks a new passion. Think about it like this. If you only ever ate your favorite food, you'd miss out on all the other delicious flavors out there.
I love that analogy. It's all about expanding your palate and being open to new experiences. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try something completely different. You might just surprise yourself.
And here's a little tip for finding new podcasts. Check out the related shows or recommended podcast sections on your podcast app. These algorithms are often pretty good at suggesting shows that align with your listening history. You can also ask friends for recommendations or join online communities dedicated to podcasts. It's a great way to get exposed to shows you might not have found otherwise.
And don't underestimate the power of serendipity. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when you're least expecting them. So be open to clicking on those random suggestions or browsing through different categories on your podcast app. You never know what gems you might unearth.
Now, once you've found some podcasts that pique your interest, it's time to create a routine. We're all creatures of habit, and incorporating podcasts into your existing routines can make it so much easier to stick with them. Think about your commutes, workouts, chores, or even those little pockets of downtime throughout the day. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, pop in your earbuds and hit play on a podcast.
It's all about making podcasts a natural part of your flow. And once you find those little windows of opportunity, it becomes effortless. You might even start to look forward to those mundane tasks because you know you'll have a great podcast to keep you company.
And speaking of making the most of your listening time, here's a tip for those who are using podcasts for learning and personal growth. Take notes. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just jotting down key takeaways, inspiring quotes, or action steps can help solidify the information and make it more applicable to your life.
It's like creating your own personalized study guide. And the act of writing things down can actually help you remember information better. Plus, it's always fun to go back and revisit your notes later on. You might be surprised by what insights or ideas jumped out at you.
And here's another bonus tip. If you're really enjoying a particular episode, don't be afraid to rewind and listen to certain sections again. Sometimes it takes a couple of listens for information to really sink in, especially if it's a complex topic. There's no shame in hitting that rewind button.
Absolutely. And if you're short on time, you can always adjust the playback speed. Most podcast apps allow you to speed up or slow down the audio so you can find a pace that works for you.
And we can't forget about the social aspect of podcasting. Remember the importance of engaging with the community. Don't just be a passive listener. Join online forums, follow your favorite podcasters on social media, and participate in discussions. You'll be amazed at the insights and connections you'll gain. It's like tuning a solo journey into a shared adventure.
It's true. Sharing your thoughts, reactions, and theories with other listeners who get it can create a real sense of belonging. Plus, it's a great way to learn from others and get different perspectives on the topics being discussed.
And finally, don't be afraid to mix things up. Variety is the spice of life, as they say. Try different podcast formats, interviews, storytelling, solo commentary panel discussions. You might find that certain formats resonate with you more than others. You can also switch between genres depending on your mood or what you're looking to get out of your listening experience. Some days you might be in the mood for a deep dive into a specific topic, while other days you might just want something light and entertaining.
Absolutely. It's all about keeping things fresh and exciting. And who knows, you might discover a new favorite format or genre you never even knew existed.
So there you have it, a handful of actionable tips to help you unlock the full potential of podcasts. Find your niche, create a routine, take notes, engage with the community, and mix it up. It's all about being intentional with your listening and finding what works best for you.
And remember, this is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the process of discovery. Be open to new ideas, and most importantly, have fun.
Beautifully said. Podcasts truly are a gift, a way to learn, grow, and connect with the world in a way that feels both personal and expansive. I'm so grateful for the role they play in my life, and I hope our listeners feel inspired to explore the world of podcasts and discover all the amazing things it has to offer.
Me too. It's been an honor sharing these insights with you. Happy listening.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the Wellbeing Podcast. Share your thoughts and let us know in the comments what topics you'd love to hear about in future episodes. Thanks for listening to the Wellbeing Podcast. Take care, stay inspired, and see you next time.